Ang pinalakas, totoong pinagtibay ng mga batikang mamamahayag sa paghahatid ng news, public service, entertainment, music, information at inspiration para sa bawat kapatid, bawat Pilipino. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Mainit at makabuluhang talakayan tungkol sa sports, kumpleto yan dito sa Power and Play. Mula sa mga paborito at naglalakihang atleta hanggang sa mga natatanging Pinoy sports figures na dapat nyong makilala, ihahatid yan dito sa Power and Play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipag-iwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, Chumbe, Sibay, Lakay, Amiga. Sama-sama pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko Pilipino. Pilipino, yan ang Pinoy.
Makaraan ang 45 taon, nakabalik na po ang Basketball World Cup sa Pilipinas. Yan at marami pang iba ang pag-usapan po natin ngayong umaga. E di paano? Bangon na! Power and Play na! Power and Play with Noli Iyala. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat mga kapatid. Nagmumula po sa TV5 Media, sa TV5 Media Center. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom. Ang yerong may aluminum, Cherry Tigo, it's fun to drive, Chooks to go. Ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan, True Religion, where passion meets power. And we are powered by Smart. Live Smart. Magandang umaga sa lahat po ng ating suki sa Radyo 5, 92.3 True FM. Sa 1PH on Signal TV and of course sa mga nanonood po worldwide sa Facebook Live. Nako kagaya na nabanggit ko, nagbalik na po ang pinakamalaking basketball spectacle ngayong taon pong ito muli dito sa ating bansa. At hindi lamang po sa Pilipinas, kung hindi pati sa Japan at sa Indonesia kung kailan nagsimula na po ang 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. At 32 mga koponan ang naghahabol po ng championship at ang tropeyong Naismith Trophy para po koronahan ang pinakamagaling na koponan sa buong mundo sa FIBA World Cup. Defending champion, of course, ang koponan ng Spain. At of course, ang mga Amerikano naman, ang Team USA, ay naghahangad na maibalik muli ang corona sa kanilang bansa after a low finish back in 2019 doon po sa China. Kagabi, nagsimula na po ang mga laro dito sa ating bansa. Of course, sa Philippine Arena, sa likod po ng record crowd na dumalo doon po sa ating opening games at opening ceremony. Mahigit 38,000 mga fans ang nanood po ng Gilas, Pilipinas kontra Dominican Republic para burahin at pasagin ang dating FIBA record na 32,000 fans in a single game. Kaya po nakuha natin ang record. Pero of course, Bagamat masaya tayo at napakarami pong mga kababayan, mga Pilipinong nanood. Nako, ang malungkot po ay hindi natin ika nga natapos ang araw sa isang panalo. Sayang at dumikit po ang Gilas hanggang kaduluduluhan, pero kinapos lalong-lalo na noong pong nag-foul out si Jordan Clarkson with 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go. Although dikit pa rin, hindi naman po naglalalayo, pero kinulang pa rin at parang nangulila sa gagawa ng puntos para sa Gilas Pilipinas. Ang final score po kahapon 87-81. At pag-uusapan po natin ngayong araw pong ito ang kaganapan dyan sa loob ng Philippine Arena, lalong-lalo na yung nangyaring laban sa Dominican Republic. Mamaya po makakausap natin walang iba kung hindi ang dating head coach ng Gilas Pilipinas, si Coach Tab Baldwin, para himayin ang laro natin kagabi. Makakausap din po natin ang dating, nakausap natin ang dati pong head coach din, si Rajko Toroman. Siya naman po nakausap natin before the opening ceremonies. Kaya ang kanya pong perspektibo ay patungkol kung gaano kalakas at saan po ang kakulangan ng ating koponang Gilas Pilipinas. Abangan nyo po rin yan in a short while. At sa In the Spotlight mamaya po, ating itatampok ang bagong hirang na head coach ng Philippine Women's National Football Team na pumalit kay Coach Alan Stachich, si Mark Torcaso. Siya po ay isang Australiano na ngayon ang bagong coach ng Filipinas para po sa Asian Games at sa AFC Olympic qualifiers sa ating pong In the Spotlight mamaya yan. Of course, kagabi tayo po ay mapalad na nakasama dun sa record-breaking crowd. At talaga naman pong sangdamakmak na mga bituin ang ating natanaw kagabi sa Philippine Arena. Kudos, congratulations sa traffic management ng local organizing committee. Sa lahat po na ng tulong-tulong mula sa MMDA, sa CHPG, sa NLEX management, at lahat po ng mga traffic enforcers. Abay, mula po sa Quezon City patungo sa Philippine Arena kahapon, abay, wala pa akong isang oras, 45 minutes lamang, na-traffic pa ako doon po sa papasok ng Skyway. Pero wala pong ka-traffic sa NLEX at kahit papano ay siguro na-ibsan din at yung mga kababayan natin ay maaga ng bumiyahe para po hindi makasabay doon sa crowd ng Philippine Arena. At doon po sa loob ng mismong complex ng Philippine Arena, kahit papaano maayos po ang daloy ng trapiko. Mga kapatid, yung pong parking maayos, ginawan po nila ng paraan. Kahit po nung pauwi, hindi po masyadong mabigat ang traffic. Dinivert nila papatungong Bukawi exit at yung iba naman ay doon sa Philippine Arena exit. Kaya kahit papaano ay na-disperse ang trapiko ng mabilis. At again, congratulations sa ating local organizing committee. Napakaganda po ng mga nangyari, yung opening ceremonies kung saan tumugtog ang mga sikat na banda at of course si Sarah Geronimo at mga celebrities na nandun po. Lalong-lalo na pinangungunahan po ng ating mahal na Pangulong si Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Dumating po ang ating Pangulo. Dapat siya ang balita natin, dapat siya ang mag-opening toss, pero mukhang hindi yata naintay sapagkat nung pumasok po ang Pangulo, mga 30 seconds pa lamang yata yung nilalaro sa laro o sa laban ng Gilas at saka ng Dominican Republic. Ako naman hindi naman ordinaryong bisita ang ating Pangulo. Bakit naman hindi pa hinintay? At ang akin lang pinagtataka, bakit hindi man lang binanggit ang pangalan ng Pangulo hanggang halftime? Nakaupo sa gitna ang ating mahal na Pangulo at hindi po nabanggit hanggang halftime. Yan ay mga bagay-bagay na siguro mga lapses na sa tingin ko kahit papano hindi naman ordinaryong bisita yan. Yan po ang Pangulo ng bansang Pilipinas. Pero other than that, so many celebrities in the house, lalong-lalo na sa mundo ng basketball. Lahat po ng ating mga nakasama sa SBP ay nakita po natin doon sila Pete Alfaro ng Zamboanga, si Hil Cortez ng Pampanga at marami pang iba. Yung anak ni Dr. J. Adalem na dating sa SBP Treasurer. Marami pa po tayong nakita doon, mga legislators, si Senator Bongo, nandun po, si Senator Bato, Senator Angara, Senator Cayetano, Senator Joel Villanueva. Nakita rin po natin doon. And of course, sila Congressman Libanan, Minority Floor Leader Libanan, at si Congressman Kimbo, nakita po natin. Mga coaches, si Coach Luigi Trillo, nakita po natin si Sandy Arispacuchaga, of course si Coach Tab Baldwin, Coach Nenad Vucinic, nandun din po, at mga players ng NLEX, ng Meralco, ng iba't ibang mga koponan. At it was really a party, ika nga sabi ng coach ng Dominican Republic, and what a way to open the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Ako ho, personal lamang. Hindi naman ho, maganda ho ang ginawa sa opening. Pero medyo, ang hindi ko lang ho masyadong nagustuhan, yung dayuhan ang nagsasalita doon po sa mga sa mga nag-host doon po sa loob ng venue. Alam niyo po, iba pa rin ang Pilipino. Kaya hindi yung ibang natin mga kababayan hindi masyadong makarelate doon sa dayuhan. Hindi ko alam yung pangalan. But again, other than that, and of course, it was a party atmosphere. Everybody had a good time. Marami hong pagkain. At kahit papano talagang nairaos po natin ang opening. Sana ay yan po ay magbubunga ng mas marami pang taong manonood ng mga iba pa pong laro. Hindi lamang po Gilas ang naglalaro. Napakarami pa pong mga laro na nagaganap. At kagabi nga, hindi lamang po sa Pilipinas, marami pa pong mga laro sa ibang bansa ang naganap. Ito ho, sasabihin ko lang sa inyo, kahapon po nanalo ang Australia kontra Finland 98-72. Nanalo din po ang Latvia kontra Lebanon 109-70. Nagwagi po ang Germany sa Japan 81-63. Ito po yung nagaganap sa Japan, sa Okinawa at sa Jakarta. Nanalo din po ang Canada kontra France. Tinambakan ng Canada ang France 95-65. Kaya po napakaraming laro, at kung gusto nyo pong mapanood yan ay nasa Signal po yan. Nandito po yan sa ating pay-per-view channels, and of course sa Pilipinas Live app. Mapapanood nyo po ang mga laro ng FIBA Basketball World Cup. So, marami po tayong pag-uusapan ngayong umagang ito. Diyan lang kayo dahil marami tayong bisitang para himayin ang laban ng Gilas Pilipinas kagabi kontra Dominican Republic. Pero syempre, simulan muna natin ang ating palatuntunan sa pamamagitan ng ating balitaan sa Sports Weekly Highlights.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Puso ang ipinakita ng Gilas Pilipinas sa opener nila sa FIBA World Cup. Pero kinapos sa crunch time ang national team kontra Dominican Republic sa harap ng mahigit 38,000 crowd ng Philippine Arena. Dalawa lang ang lamang ng Dominican Republic sa 154 mark ng fourth period, pero di na nakatabla at nakalamang ang Gilas hanggang final buzzer. Final score 87-81. Nanguna para sa Dominican Republic si Carl Anthony Towns na may 26 points. Kinapos naman ang 28 points ni Jordan Clarkson na nag-foul out sa fourth quarter. Sa ibang Group A game, pumalag ang Angola pero kinapos sila kontra Italy 81-67. Lumamang pa ng hanggang 7 points ang Angola pero lumabas ang poise ng Italy sa second half. Na-outscore din nila ng 10 puntos ang Angola sa final quarter. Sa ibang FIBA news, itinanghal sa FIBA Hall of Fame si The Big Difference, Kaloy Loizaga. Si Loizaga ang unang Pinoy player na nakapasok sa FIBA Hall of Fame. Ang maalamat na player ang nanguna sa bronze medal finish ng Pilipinas sa 1954 World Championship. Ito na ang huling podium finish ng Pilipinas sa world stage. Good news naman sa pole vault. Pasok na sa finals ng World Athletics Championship ang pambato nating si EJ Obiena. Madaling na-clear ni EJ ang qualifying height na 5.75 meters sa Hungary. Target ni Obiena ang back-to-back podium sa tournament matapos makuha ang makasaysayang bronze medal noong isang taon. Kalaban ni EJ diyan, si world number 1 Mondo Duplantis at American vaulter Christopher Nielsen. Isa pang good news, wagi ng world title sa grappling ang Pinoy prospect na si Fier Afan. Nanguna sa 2023 World Grappling Championships ang 19 anyos sa Warsaw, Poland. Tinalo ni Afan sa 75 or under 71 kilogram GPGI men's division ang French na si Ethan Sebastian Forres. At balita naman sa volleyball. Promoted si Coach Oliver Almadro bilang head ng volleyball operations ng Petrogras. Dahil dito nabakante ang head coach position ng Angels at inaasahang i-anunsyo ang bagong kapalit very soon. Sa ilalim ni Almadro, nakapag-final sa All-Filipino Conference ang Petrogas sa una niyang conference kasama ang team. At yan po ang buod ng ilang mga balita ngayong linggo sa Sports Weekly Highlights. Of course, marami pa pong nangyayaring mga balita doon sa mga hihilig sa golf. Ngayon po yung Tour Championship doon po sa East Lake. Naku, ang ganda ng laban. Lumalamang po si Victor Hovland doon sa Tour Championship para sa nakatayang FedEx Cup. Isa po sa pinakamalaking tournament kung saan I think ang mananalo doon 10 milyong dolyar ang mapapanalunan. Pero of course, ang ating pong pag-uusapan at patuloy na pinag-uusapan, ika nga FIBA World Cup mania, basketball fever dito po sa ating bansa at sa buong mundo. Ang ating pong pag-uusapan pa rin ay ang nangyari kagabi. At yan din po ang ating pupulsuhan dahil sa napakaraming mga komentaryo ang lumalabas na sa social media, both positive, negative, in support of our team. Again, ang aking pong paalala, unang pong laban pa lamang yan. Although I have said that napakahalaga ng laban natin sa Dominican Republic, ang aking pong pakiramdam kung tayo po'y nanalo nitong laban sa Dominican Republic, malamang makakapasok tayo sa second round. Pero hindi pa po tapos ang laban. After nakita natin yung laban po kagabi sa first game ng Italy at Angola, kung ganun po ang lalaroin nila kagabi tayo po may laban doon. May laban ho tayo sa Italy at sa Angola. Alam natin na mas maganda pa ang pwedeng ilaro ng Italy. Kaya po hindi naman tayo nagiging masyadong kumpiyansa. Pero sa nakita po natin, kahit papano, bibigyan po natin ng laban ng Italy. Yung Angola po, mukhang hindi po masyadong mahusay sa labas. Kaya po, kaya natin yon na sabayan at siguro yung laki lamang ang dapat nating bantayan ng mabuti. Pero kaya po natin yan. Kaya yan po rin ang ating pupulsuhan ngayong linggong ito. Sa Pulso ng Bayan, hatid sa inyo po ng M2T Drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay with M2T Drinks. Ito po ang ating Pulso ng Bayan ngayong linggong ito. Ang ating pong tanong, simple lamang, anong biggest takeaway ninyo sa talo ng Gilas kontra Dominican Republic kagabi? Ito po muli. Anong biggest na nakita ninyo na leksyon sa talo po ng Gilas kontra Dominican Republic? Kung gusto nyo pong sumama sa ating talakayan at manalo ng mga M2T drinks, ay magpadala lamang ng inyong komentaryo sa aming pong Facebook page ng Power and Play o di kaya sa aking Twitter account at Noli Iyala. Mamaya po pipili kami ng 3 mananalo ng M2T drinks with malunggay, luya, and okra. Hatid sa inyo ng Nature Earth. Drink your gulay and fuel up with energy with M2T drinks. Alright mga kapatid, more promos from Power and Play of course mula sa Joyride Super App. Patuloy po ang ating pamimigay ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits or JRPay wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Again, simple lamang, download po nyo yung latest version ng Joyride Super App. Kuhanan ng screenshot ng app's home screen kasama ng inyong pangalan, ipadala sa Power and Play FB page via PM. Isama nyo po ang inyong buong pangalan at registered mobile number at saka duluduluhan ay tayo po ipipili ng 5 mananalo ng 1,000 pesos JRPay wallet credits para sa inyong MC Taxi, sa inyo pong Joyride Delivery at sa Joyride Car, yung aming pong 4-wheel service. And of course, sa JR Taxi. Yan po ang ating top-up promo. Meron pa pong pamimigay ang Joyride, ha? Yung pong ating limited aqua flask. Ha? Isa po ang ipamimigay natin linggo-linggo. Napakasimple lamang po. Pagka-download nyo ng Joyride Super App, mag-book po kayo ng MC Taxi o di kaya ng Joyride Car. Ha? At kuhanan nyo po ng picture, isang creative picture, yung either wacky picture or kasama yung driver or selfie. Ipadala nyo po sa aming Facebook page na kasama yung hashtag of the week na amin pong i-anunsyo ngayon. At kami po ipipili, i-anunsyo namin ang mananalo sa Biyernes sa aming pong FB page at sa FB page din ng Joyride. At ito po ang ating hashtag of the week. Ang hashtag of the week po natin, balikan nga natin yun, Santi. Ang ating pong hashtag of the week, hashtag Joyride Kasundo, Power and Play. Ulitin ko po yan, hashtag Joyride Kasundo, Power and Play para manalo ng limited edition Joyride Aqua Flask. Again, i-anunsyo natin po ang mga mananalo next week. Mamaya, i-anunsyo ko yung nanalo last week. Alright, mga kapatid, we are ready to go here sa ating pong mga bisita. Siyempre, ang ating pong pambungad sa ating Fast Take.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
At ang Fast Take ahetid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. It's fun to drive. At ngayong araw pong ito, kasama natin sa Fast Take. Well, mga matagal na po nating nakasama sa hanap buhay and of course, mga veterano na. Walang iba kundi si Bill Velasco at si Enzo Flojo. Gentlemen, magandang umaga. Thank you for joining us this morning, Enzo.
Hi,
Bill.
Com. Thank you very much for having me and really medyo puyat pa from last night.
I know. Tayo lahat. Bill, thank you for joining us this morning.
Magandang umaga, Noli. Magandang umaga, Enzo. At talagang napakarami nating pag-uusapan ngayong umaga.
Sana nga. Well, siguro simulan ko na kagad. Obviously, it was very frustrating. Marami tayong katanungan mamaya sa Fast Take. But Bill, let me ask you first. Sabi nga nila, pogi muna bago ang ang talino. Yan ang Bill, tama ba yun?
Hindi sabi ng nanay ko.
Ayoko sabihin kasi seniority. Kaya makahalata tayo, Bill. But anyway, Bill, obviously there were a lot of things that happened last night. And we'll talk about that later. But isang tanong ko, dapat ba Dominican Republic ang una nating nilabanan? Alam mo naman natin, pag host ng isang bansa, may pagkakataon niyang mamili ng schedule. And, hindi ba, you think that it would have mattered or would it have been better if we were coming hopefully from a win by playing a lesser team like maybe Angola?
Sa tingin ko, magandang panukala yan, no? Kasi yung Angola, unang-una, sa lahat ng mga kalaban natin, sila ang pinakamababa ang ranking. Pangalawa, this is not the same team that 15 years ago was number 11 in the world and even played in the Olympics. No, they're not a very big team. They don't shoot as well from the outside. Kaya kayang-kaya nating malagpasan yung mga kahinaan ng koponan na yon. At tandaan natin, medyo malayo-layo yung binyahe din nila at kakabahan din sila. Isipin nyo kung naglaro sila sa Philippine Arena na ganun karami ang nanonood, mukhang dadagain yung mga yan at kaya nating talunin. Sana.
Oo. Well, yun ang pagkakatingin ko, no? Na sana pwede naman tayo mamili as host, no? And that is one of the things na pribileho ng isang host. And so, when you look at Dominican Republic, alam naman natin na isa lamang ang gagawa dyan. Carl Anthony Towns. But were you surprised about the other players? Si Liz at saka yung si Velis. Mukhang yun ang pumatay sa atin sa dulo, Enzo.
Honestly, not really, no. Actually, I think for a lot of fans, talaga in-expect nila si Carl Anthony Towns, si Cat, no, which was obviously what happened last night. He had a double-double. Pinahirapan natin siya. Kudos to AJ Edu and even Junmar, no, and Japet for in one stretch, even Dwight Ramos, no, for trying to stop him. But he really found a way na makapunta sa free throw line. Ang dami niya napasok na free throw. At, that gave them a lot of momentum. Si Liz and Feliz, for international basketball fans, hindi na bago yung mga pangalang yan, eh. Si Victor Liz, believe it or not, he's 37 years old, no, and he still moves like a 25-year-old. Si Feliz naman, he's about 26, 27, mga ka-age nila Mike at Matt Nieto yan. So he's an up-and-coming guy for Dominican Republic, but these are guys na for international basketball fans, they know na itong mga to kaya kumamada, and that's what they did last night.
All right. Before we go to the fast take issues, very quickly, I'll start with you, Enzo. There were other games last night. What was the most impressive, even in Jakarta as well as in Okinawa? What was the most impressive for you so far, Enzo?
Ang daming magandang games, no? For me, nag-stand out. Ang sinusubaybayan ko kagabi, before I watched Gilas, no, was the Australia game. Kasi si Josh Giddey, it's his debut for the Boomers, and he actually could have gotten a triple-double, no? Kung hindi na siya binench kasi tambak na yung laro. But he was really, really good, and I think he's gonna be one of the rising stars in this tournament, no? So yeah, Australia of course, and Josh Giddey, yung aking tinutukan kagabi.
All right, Bill, ikaw ano ang alam ko you were also very focused, nakatuto ka dito. What was the impressive game for you outside maybe of the Philippines?
I think there were two. Unang-una yung Lithuania at Egypt, no. I'm very partial to Lithuanian basketball dahil we covered the BC Wolves, and iba yung finesse ng Lithuanian team, no. I think Egypt was bit of more than they could chew. Pero maganda rin yung laban ng Italy at Angola. Syempre papanoorin natin yun dahil yun ang may impact yun sa magiging kasunod na laro ng Gilas Pilipinas, because we might end up in a three-way tie for second, no, kung ma-sweep ng Italy yung group stage. Kaya pinantayan ko din yun. Nagulat din ako sa laro ng Angola, pero Italy, they're just getting warmed up.
Right, absolutely. And of course, I also was very impressed with the Canadians. Tinambakan nila ang France by 30 points, and they are really serving warning na they may be one of the dark horses na pwedeng tumapat sa Team USA. Alright, let's go to our fast take issues of the morning, gentlemen. Alam nyo na yung drill, bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, wag magagalit. Walang tama, walang mali. Ang importante, ang opinion nyo. 1 minute to answer the questions, and we begin with the first one. Ang ating unang issue, nagsalita si Coach Rajko Toroman that this could be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, lineup ever built by Gilas Pilipinas for the World Cup. So ang tanong, sang-ayon ba kayo na itong Gilas lineup ang pinakamalakas na team ng Pilipinas sa kasaysayan ng FIBA World Cup? I'll begin with you, Bill. 1 minute, go.
Sa tingin ko, malakas itong team na to in terms of a few things. In terms of size, it's the biggest team we've ever had. In terms of athletic ability, and in terms of youth and experience, the blend of youth and experience. Ang problema lang, nung nilabas yung lineup, nagtaka ako dahil talagang kulang tayo sa mga shooters. And if the shooter is the same guy bringing up the ball, medyo may problema ka. So kung mag-aakit ng bola si Dwight Ramos, si Jordan Clarkson, or even Scottie Thompson, tapos sila rin ang titira, parang mapag-iiwanan yung kakampi, at kulang na kulang tayo sa 3-point shooting. We shot a very decent percentage from 3-point range, but the problem is we needed more, especially in the international game, dahil una, pangontra yun sa gagawin ng kalaban, at pangalawa, mas malapit yung 3-point shot natin. Kaya sa tingin ko, yun ang kulang natin, shooter pa rin.
Alright, well, clearly kahapon shooting 33% from 3-point range, decent as pero kulang in terms of volume, ika nga. And so, same question. Sangayon ka ba na ito na ang pinakamalakas na team ng Gilas Pilipinas sa history ng World Cup? 1 minute, Enzo. Go.
Yes, Com. So, ayon ako kay Coach Rajko. No? I mean, sinabi na nga ni Sir Bill na this is one of the biggest teams na ating na-produce ever. No? For mga 30 years, we've been hoping for an army of guys who are 6'8" or taller. And in a way, we have it here, no? Ganda ng combination ng experience and youth. We have guys who've been produced by Batang Gilas, no, like of course sila Kiefer, AJ, Kai, and then we have our two MVPs in the PBA, of course, in Scotty and Junmar. And then maganda rin yung diversity ng team because we have a lot of guys from the PBA, a lot of guys with experience abroad, so they've been exposed to a lot of international basketball already. Hindi insular yung kanilang experience. So I think in many aspects, this was really the best we could produce. And I think the results showed against one of the best teams in the world, Dominican Republic. Dumikit tayo. And I think didikit tayo against Italy. And I think we can beat Angola also.
Very good. And that gives us a lot of hope. And obviously, pwede pang mag-improve, especially since ang ating core is quite young with AJ Educay and of course Dwight Ramos. That's a very young core and ang dami pang paangat na player katulad nila ng UP players, ng mga nanggagaling sa collegiate. Ang dami pa na pwede nating ipasok dyan sa ating lineup in the future. Alright, second issue of the morning. Sa inilaro ng Gilas kontra Dominican Republic, gentlemen, may pag-asa ba tayo na maka-advance sa susunod na round with that kind of performance last night? Enzo, I'll begin with you. 1 minute, go!
Yes, may pag-asa pa. Medyo lumiit yung window of opportunity natin pero bukas pa naman. No? I think si Sir Bill kind of touched on it na kanina na kung manalo tayo sa Angola, and that's going to be really a make or break game. No? Kung manalo tayo sa Angola and then assuming Italy beats Dominican Republic, no? There's still a chance na actually pwede mag 1-3, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 ang tatlong teams, no? After 3 game days in Group A. No? Ako, personally, that's what I'm banking on. I think mas malaki yung chance na ganun ang mangyayari. Kasi yung kabilang option ay kailangan talunin natin both Angola and Italy, which I'm sure we're going to try to do. Pero that's going to be, mas uphill climb kasi yun, di ba? Kasi of course, Angola has their own NBA player in Bruno Fernando. And Italy, of course, has Simone Fontecchio. And they have a great coach in Coach Pozeco. Tapos, these are Eurobasket veterans as well. So, pwede pa. Mas lumiit yung window, pero feeling ko kaya pa.
Alright. Well, sana nga at kailangan natin ng mga ganyang klaseng kombinasyon. Bill, same question. Sa inilaro ng Gilas, kaya pa ba na maka-advance tayo sa second round? 1 minute, Bill. Go!
Sa tingin ko kaya natin. We just have to address a few things. So, offensive rebounding, we're out-rebounded by Dominican Republic 17-3. Angola has a lot of very athletic players, but they've only been playing basketball for maybe 40 years or so. They've been Pan-African champion several times. But at this level, baguhan pa rin sila. Mas hinug yung mga player natin in terms of international basketball. Second chance points and points off turnovers were a big issue for us. Yung communication ng mga players lang ang kailangan natin na ayusin. Ang magandang manalo dito, lamangan natin ng kahit mga double figures.
Yan.
Yung Angola para papasok sa laban sa Italy, we have a positive quotient. Dahil doon na magkakaalaman sa huling laro natin sa tingin ko na dumikit tayo sa Italy, may pag-asa pa tayo maging number 2 by virtue of the quotient. And for now, that seems to be our only chance to come in because I don't think we're going to beat Italy.
Well, suntok sa buwan, pero sabi nila, miracles happen. Ako mas gusto ko sana manalo ang Dominican Republic sa Italy. Sabagat now, pasok na natin ang Dominican Republic dahil nakalaban na natin yan Because there's a chance na kahit na mag 1-2, 1-2, no? Ang ating mga koponan. But again, the quotient system will be very important. Let's cut down on our turnovers, And of course, sana kahit papano, wag na ma-foul out si Jordan Clarkson. All right, let's go to our third and final issue of the morning. Recently, nagsalita si Coach Yeng Yao after their trip to the William Jones Cup. At ang sabi ni Coach Yeng, napag-iiwanan na daw ang Philippine basketball. Sangayon ka ba doon, Bill? 1 minute. Go!
Sa tingin ko, we had a very rude wake-up call back in 1990 when the Philippines played the first ever all-pro team in an international competition in the Asian Games. It's a question of style para sa akin. Ang estilo kasi natin is very American. One player attacks the basket, tries to kick it out. Kulang pa tayo sa outside shooting. In the international game, those things are very important. Yung sinasabi nila, yung pintas nila sa mga gwardiya natin na masyadong madribble, it's true to a certain extent, but it's necessary for our style of play. Ngayon, tingnan natin yung top 10 sa FIBA sa buong mundo. Halos lahat nun, maliban na sa dalawang bansa siguro, European countries. So that is what we have to study. Same mistake that the Americans have been making. they're importing the European players pero hindi nila pinag-aaralan yung estilo ng laro sa Europe at sa tingin ko yun ang dapat natin tuunan ng pansin.
Isa pang nabanggit din niya ni Coach Yeng na kahit siya daw, kailangan na siya mag-aral dahil nag-iiba na talaga ang laro ng basketball. And so same issue, anong masasabi mo sa recent statement ni Yeng Yao na napag-iiwanan na daw ang Philippine basketball? 1 minute, Enzo. Go!
Generally, sangayon ako, no? From a coaching perspective, doon ako medyo nagda-diverge. Kasi, as one of the coaches from Batang Gilas, and knowing a lot of the coaches in the high school, college basketball scene, no? Marami dyan nag-aaral ng international basketball style and they're trying to apply it in their teams. No? I think, ang medyo na pag-iwanan tayo will be the structure. No? The structure at the pro level, the schedule at the pro level, the fact that we only have 12 teams but so many talents here, the fact na I think we can maybe adjust our structures in the Philippines para mas match tayo sa calendar ng international basketball. Tapos para mas siguro mas ma-entice yung players natin to kind of stay instead of playing abroad. Kailangan na mas maging competitive ng structures natin dito sa Pilipinas. But of course, maraming challenges in that entails a lot of resources, a lot of political willpower, to do that. So sana magawa natin in the near future.
Ako, I agree with you and I certainly hope na kahit paano ang ating mga leaders can do something about it. Siguro hindi masyadong word na napag-iwanan. Siguro inabutan. And that might be a better word. Talagang inabutan na tayo. And even American basketball, yung sinasabi nila, talagang humabol na ang world basketball sa kanila. So, it happens in any sport, talagang ganon. And ang kagandahan lang, the positive thing is ang dami po nating very talented players. And I think if only we can rebrand, we can rethink and revisit our basketball style, kagaya na nga sinabi ni Bill at ni Enzo, yung coaching philosophies, maybe yung paghabol nila, medyo makakaalagwa tayo ng konti at muling aangat kahit man lang dito sa ating rehiyon. Alright, gentlemen, again, thank you for joining us this morning. I will see you at the games and sana nga patuloy tayong sumuporta sa ating Gilas Pilipinas. Bill, Enzo, maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, Com. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Com. Thanks for Bill. Bye.
Mga kaibigan, Bill Velasco, veteran sports analyst, and of course, Coach Enzo Flojo, also isa sa mga FIBA correspondents and really following the international basketball scene. Thank you so much. Ang dami nating na pag-usapan tungkol sa nangyari kahapon. Alright, pag-uusapan pa namin. Marami pa po tayong pag-uusapan as the show continues. Pero isa muna pong paalala mula sa ating mga kaibigan sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Giga Life app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Giga Life app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live Smart. When we return, ang ating pong mga kasama, Coach Rajko Toroman, dating head coach ng Gilas Pilipinas. Ito po ang Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin, 8:38 ng umaga. Ang oras pong yan ay hatid sa inyo ng M2 Tea Drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up your energy with M2 Tea Drinks.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation, to inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day. Plus data for all sites.
Simple. Smart ako.
Sherry.
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice. Naswak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Sabay-sabay nating salubungin ang Burr months nitong katapusan ng Agosto sa muling pagbabalik ng pinakahihintay natin sa TV5. You heard it right mga kapatid, kaya sugod na sa Kadiwa Pop-Up Market 3.0 sa August 31, 2023. Huwebes mula alas 6 ng umaga hanggang alauna ng hapon sa TV5 Launchpad Building, Reliance Corner Sheridan Streets, Mandaluyong City. Magsama-sama tayong mamakyaw ng fresh at dry commodities na murang-mura na tiyak pang nakakatulong sa ating kababayang magsasaka at mangingisda. Ang programang ito ay sa pakikipagtulungan ng Department of Agriculture, Signal TV, Media 5, TV5, Nation Broadcasting Corporation, Maya, Felix Mining Corporation, at Alagang Kapatid Foundation Incorporated.
Alagang kapatid.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
It's time to discover the new stars of a PBA. Magpapakitang gilas ang malalakas. Susugod na ang matitigas. Huwag palagpasin ang sagupan. Tuloy ang laro. Tuloy ang laban. Game tayo dito sa PBA On Tour. Live on One Sports at PBA Rush.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Mangangawit ang panga nyo sa katatawa dahil ang kombinasyon ng gulat at sorpresa nandito na. Doble-doble ang saya. Doble-doble ang kwela. Abangan si Wally Bayola at Jose Manalo sa
Good jokes never go old. Kaya naman tuloy ang good times sa
Wow, Mali! Doble tama. Malapit na dito sa TV5.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Broadcasting from the Radyo 5 Studios in Reliance Street, Mandaluyong City, in Mega Manila. 25,000 watts of true broadcast quality. Mas pinalakas, mas pinalawak, mas pinalinaw na tunog ng AM sa FM. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Muli nagbabalik po ang Power and Play. Alam niyo po, nung isang araw, inabutan natin ang dating head coach ng Gilas, Pilipinas na ngayon ay nagbabalik sa ating bansa para po siya ay maging o magtrabaho muli dito po sa basketball scene natin sa ating bansa. At siya po ang nagsimula ng Gilas, Pilipinas back in 2008 kung saan atin pong nakilala siya at hinirang na head coach ng original Smart Gilas Pilipinas. Ito po ang ating interview. Again, disclaimer po we did this interview a day or the night before the opening of the Philippines versus Dominican Republic game. So ito po ang ating interview with former Gilas head coach Rajko Toroman. Of course, no other than Coach Rajko Toroman. Rajko, it's good to see you. Welcome back to the Philippines.
Thank you, Noli. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Before we talk about what everyone is talking about, the World Cup and of course what's going to be happening or what is happening right now, I want to talk about you first. We read the reports that you are back in the Philippines because you have a new assignment. Can you tell us about your new assignment here in the Philippines, Rajko?
I'm very happy that I returned back here, and it's a pleasure to me to a little bit work. I got offer from boss Frank Lau to a little bit help the Converge and the CSB. I think that it's good opportunity for me to come back and to share my knowledge and my experience to the younger coaches and help as much as possible in this time Filipino basketball. For me, after 12 years coming back to Manila, it means a lot. I am very pleased with the fans, how they treated me. They show a lot of respect, and sometimes I feel that I can give a little bit more to Filipino basketball.
Well, you mentioned Converge and you mentioned CSP or College of St. Benilde. So, Coach, what will your role be? What will your role be in these teams, and what are you hoping to achieve during this time for you?
But I think that my role will be consultant. To be consultant, Charles Chu will be the head coach. All this connection between boss and me were through Charles Chu. He was my assistant in Gilas a long time ago, but still we are connected. We are talking about basketball. He's a big-time fan of basketball and a good coach, and I think that together that we can improve the level of the playing of Benilde. That's also a situation that sometimes I will go on a practice of Converge and try to see if I can help the PBA team. Also, sometimes I will go on UE high school practice and Letran high school practice. Everywhere is possible, just to a little bit share my knowledge. After 35 years of coaching job, 6 national teams, I have something to say,
Absolutely.
To say something.
Absolutely, right. I think a lot of people are very happy to see you once again here, not only because you started the Gilas program, but also because of the knowledge that you have for the game, and I'm sure many young players will benefit from this. Have you met any of the teams already, Coach?
I was CSB. I was not almost. I am every day with them, and I am waiting. Maybe next week I will go for the first practice of Converge. Then T.Y. Tan invited me to make some one practice for the kids, 13 years old.
Yeah.
And it was very nice to work with these kids. You know, he has Xavier, he has, and I'm very happy here because even if it's kids 12, 13 years old, for them it was very thankful. They are very thankful that I came and that I give them one practice.
What is your assessment of College of St. Benilde, Rajko?
But I think they have a good team. I think maybe they miss some big guy, but the other guys, they are tough, they are athletic, and they have a lot of potential. I think that last year they were playing the final game against Letran, and we hope that we can be competitive this year with all these teams. Now we are playing friendly games. I try a little bit. You know me. You know I'm a coach of system. I try to do something else a little bit to improve some things. You know, I think that if they accepted some changes or some system, what I want to a little bit, not too much, because we will not change all the philosophy, but some things we can change, we can improve. You know, the most important thing offensively is how is the ball movement. Sometimes the players keep the ball too long. For me, the ball movement and pass is the most important thing, not 100 dribbles. And we will work on that, on these things, you know, because basketball is a team sport, you know.
All right. Well, Rajko, in that, before I go to the Gilas in the World Cup, how long is your assignment here? Are you going to stay for the entire NCAA season?
I will stay 4 months here. Until December.
All right. That's nice.
And then we will see, you know, if we will continue or if I go back. Doesn't matter.
Well, you know that there are many things that can happen in basketball, and you've been around that to know. You've been around the games for so long that you know that many opportunities open up, especially when you're present.
Yeah, but you know, during this time after 2013, when I left Manila, I have some connection and I have some offer. And you was talking a little bit with me. I was mentioning you know that with LaSalle, but all the time I was connected with, I had a contract with some others, with Indonesia, and it was not possible to come. Now, first time I was free, and this invitation from Charles and from Boss, I accepted, and I think that it's a win-win situation for them and for me in this period to work a little bit with the guys and try to share my experience in basketball.
Well, we are looking forward to that, and we certainly are looking forward to seeing you in the games. And talking about the games, of course, the games that matter right now is the FIBA Basketball World Cup, which will begin, well, by this time, when this interview is shown, it would have already started. But let me ask you, Rajko, you have seen our Gilas Filipinas national team. You were part of that, of course, as the first coach of Gilas. You've seen them in a couple of tune-up games. What is your assessment of the team?
I think that's the most strongest team ever Gilas made in the history of Gilas, because with Jordan Clarkson, with Kai Soto, with all these guys who play not here, who play in Japan, I think that's the strongest team. Of course, expectation here are very, very high. You know, everybody knows how Filipino loves basketball and loves Gilas, and it will be a little bit pressure on the players, but that's very strong team. You know, I was watching the game against Montenegro and against Ivory Coast. It was after a few days after Jordan Clarkson arrived, but you can see the high quality of the players.
What do you think is the strength of this team, Rajko? What is the strength?
Strength is outside players. That's the strength. That's you have, let's say, Scotty Thompson surprised me in these 2 games with the level of the playing. Clarkson, day by day, he will be better and better, even against Montenegro. First half, he scored 18, but quietly 18. It's not forcing, quietly 18. And they just then Dwight Ramos, which I like him. Also, one guy, I didn't know him, Baldo. I think he played in Korea. He's so athletic, he can help, And that's the strength of this team. The biggest point tomorrow against the Dominican Republic will be the big guys,
Yeah.
That will be
that is the area of concern for you. That will be the area of concern, the bigs.
Yeah, somebody from the big guy must step in. Because, during these games, let's say against Montenegro, they have a big problem with Nikola Vucevic and Bojan Dubljevic, who play in EuroLeague. Against Dominican Republic will be even better guys. It will be Karl Anthony Towns and Al Horford, I think, if he's in a roster.
I think Horford will not be playing. He will not be coming.
But still, that will be the biggest point. They need some points from the big guys. Because Gilas cannot depend just from the Clarkson and Dwight Ramos and somebody from inside. Somebody from inside players have to step in with some numbers in a points. In a game against Montenegro, it was Junior Fajardo who stepped in. He scored 19 points. But in a situation when Towns is playing, it will be very tough for Fajardo to guard Towns because Towns is bigger, quicker. He can play in and out, and that will be point. If Edu can make some defensive job on him, that will be crucial for the game tomorrow.
All right. Talking about bigs, Japet Aguilar has been named team captain of this national team. Japet, of course, began his career in Gilas with you, and you've seen his development even in the PBA through 3 other World Cups. He was part of that. How have you seen the development of Japet, Rajko? How happy are you that he has finally matured?
But I can see that he started to be mature. In our time, Noli, he was not mature. It was he was going left and right. He didn't find his position in the team. Now he found the position in the team. Only what I want from him, what I saw in these 2 games, he must attack the rim. He's so quiet now, too quiet. He must, and probably he is looking where is Clarkson. But I said, Clarkson cannot solve all the problems of Gilas. Japet must be more aggressive on the basket. That's my message to Japet. Japet is a long time in Gilas. He was last maybe 14 years in Gilas, and probably he deserved to be the captain of the team. He is the longest one in the team, and but just he must be more aggressive. He cannot just wait to dunk 1 or 2 balls. He must look. He must use his middle range shot maybe 1 time or 2 times during the game. 3-point shot. Just my message to Japet: be more aggressive.
All right.
On the ring.
I guess he has to be a threat. In other words, he has to be part of the offensive threat just to relieve Clarkson and the other shooters of the pressure. Talking about becoming a threat, Kai Soto is finally going to be playing for Gilas in the men's team. Rajko, what is the future of Kai Sotto, do you think, for the Philippine basketball?
Of course, that Kai Sotto is a big talent and big potential, but I think that he miss games. He miss to be the leader of the team. Everywhere where he was playing in Australia, in Japan, or G League, whatever it is, he still didn't be the main guy in the team. And I think that that's what he must try to do in the future, to be the leader of the team, to prove himself, and then thinking about NBA. In this moment, he is not performance on the level what everybody expected. I'm talking about these two games. I think that he still didn't find his position in the team, but he is a big talent.
Who do you think? You've mentioned a lot of players here. We've talked about the bigs, Junmar, Japet, Kai, and of course Jordan Clarkson, Dwight Ramos. But who do you think outside of these players will be very important, will be very pivotal if Gilas is to move forward in the World Cup?
I think Scotty Thompson is the guy. Secondly, I expected also some better games from Kiefer Ravena, to help with because he's extremely smart. His IQ for basketball is big, and his shooting was good. I think Scotty and Kiefer have to step in a situation and help Jordan Clarkson offensively and defensively. I think Scotty and also Abaldo, they need some athletic guys, and Abaldo is really athletic guy who can shoot the ball. They need something to change Dwight Ramos but also Dwight Ramos. I said before, he is looking like a good European player with the size, with the rebounding, with the shooting, with the way how he's playing, his tough. And I expected a lot from Dwight Ramos together with Clarkson.
All right. Rajko, we're facing Dominican Republic, of course. We're going to play Italy. We're going to play Angola. And realistically, when you look at that group, does the Philippines have a chance to move to the next round?
I said that they have a chance. First of all, if Al Horford is not playing, that will be big advantage of Gilas. And I said tomorrow will be 50,000 people who love Gilas, who love basketball. Only that always in the history of Gilas they play much better in front of the domestic crowd, and I think that Gilas will play on 120% of their possibilities tomorrow. And probably there is a chance to win the game. I think that with these people, with this support, with Clarkson, with energy, with heart, that they can win the game.
All right. Well, let's talk about the big picture, the World Cup itself. All of the big names, the big countries are in the World Cup. First of all, how do you feel? Rajko, you were part of that planning and back in 2009 of the Gilas program. How do you feel that now the World Cup is being played in Manila? I mean, it's probably something that we both would have wanted to be part of. Of course, we are still part of it in some way, but I'm sure that it was part of your dream when you started in 2009.
It was great for Philippine country, for the people that they hosted the World Cup. Yesterday I was talking with Dražen Dalipagic. He is a friend of mine. If you don't remember, 1978, he was the best scorer of Yugoslavia.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember him very well.
and I was talking, and he was talking to me about his memories, about his way of playing in Manila, 1978. After a lot of years, Philippines are host the World Cup. That's the dream, and I think that the fans and the players will do everything to give these people here, to give some hope, to give some wins, to make them happy, because basketball is only one sport here. The people like them, and the people here deserve 2 wins in a group.
Well, we are obviously praying that we can move on, but there are also other games that are going to be played in Manila, and particularly the knockout stage. So it's going to be an exciting next 2 weeks for us here in Manila. But talking about that, Rajko, when you look at the teams that are now going to be playing, who do you think will make the Final Four? What is your prediction?
First of all, I think that United States is the biggest favorite for the gold medal. Not just because they have 12 NBA players, they have the best coaches in NBA. Steve Kerr, Alex Postra, Tyronn Lue. What you can say, just, very experienced, maybe the best coaches in NBA. You can see in the friendly games they made a good chemistry. They didn't lose the game. They put them like underdogs in the beginning of the preparation, but that's a very, very strong, athletic, and high quality team, and I think they are favorite for the gold medal. There is a lot of teams who will be candidate for the semifinal.
Yan po mga kaibigan ang panayam natin kay Coach Rajko Toroman. Nung isang araw po yan na nakausap natin si Coach Rajko Toroman, and of course, napakarami niya sinabi and lahat po ay nagkatotoo. Unang-una sabi niya, hindi pwede tayong umasa lamang kay Jordan Clarkson. We cannot depend on Clarkson alone. Tama nga ho yan, nangyari kahapon. Pangalawa, sabi niya, we need scoring from the bigs. Kagabi po gumawa si Junmar Fajardo at napakaganda ng nilaro ni AJ Edu kahit papano kaya po nakadikit ang koponan natin sa Dominican Republic. Pangatlo, sabi niya, si Japet hindi pwedeng masyadong tahimik, cannot be too quiet. Medyo kahapon po si Japet nawawala, hindi masyadong nagpakita, nagparamdam. Sana lumabas ang laro ni Japet Aguilar. At ang huli niya sinabi, importante dalawang players, Scottie Thompson, Kiefer Ravena, point guard position. Yun po sinasabi ni Coach Rajko. Totoo nga, sa dami ng ating turnovers kahapon, kailangan nating makontrol ang point guard position para mas lalong umikot pa ang bola. Yan po ang panayam natin. Mamaya pag-uusapan pa natin yung laban natin sa Gilas, ng Gilas kontra Dominican Republic. Alright, bago tayo mag-break, isa muna pong pagsilip sa mga viral video at pop culture sa mundo ng palakasan sa Stop and Pop.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Ang title po ng ating video ngayong linggo ay Gagawin ang Lahat, Mabawi Ka Lang. Parang pelikula to. Panoorin po natin ito Hindi yan hugot sa pag-ibig, mga kapatid. Ito po yung mama, natingnan nyo si kuya, gustong abutin yung bola. Todo ang effort, makuha lamang ang nahulog ng bola sa tubig. Parang kanal pa nga yan Nakuha na! Naku, nung inilagay yung bola sa dulo, naku, bumagsak uli. Diyos ko talaga. Ayun, success pero kaso lang hindi na secure yung bola at ulit-ulit na naman ang gagawin nila. At yan din po ang ating Stop and Pop. Sa atin pagbabalik ang ating pong makakapanayam live ang dating head coach ng Gilas Pilipinas. Isa pa yan si Coach Tab Baldwin dito po sa Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin 9:09 ng umaga. This time check is brought to you by M2 Tea Drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2 Tea Drinks.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day. Plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry.
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice. Naswak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Bida, bida kid! Best friend natin ang mas isuot para ligtas. Ingatan ang kamay maghugas bago pumasok sa class. Sa pila wag dikit-dikit, dumistansya para iwas sakit. Laging open ang window para maganda ang airflow. Ikaw at ako ang bida-kid, sa COVID di pa dadaig. Sa ligtas na pagbabalik, sama-sama maging bida-kid.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Team Ambida, ready na for round 2.
Narinig mo yung asawa ko? Enzo?
Aba, may bagong manggugulo.
Oh my God! Got it! Oh my nosy!
Paano kaya harapin ng pamilyang palaban ng bagong hamon ng buhay? Kaya wag nang papahuli dahil Team A may round 2 na. Kasama ang mas masaya at mas malaking pamilya ng Team A. Round 2 tuwing Sabado 5:15 p.m. dito sa TV5.
25,000 watts ng totoong tunog ng FM radio. Totoong pinalakas, totoong pinagtibay ng mga batikang mamamahayag sa paghahatid ng news, public service, entertainment, music, information at inspiration para sa bawat kapatid, bawat Pilipino. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Mayang buntag kaninyong tanan sa lahat po ng ating mga suki sa Cebu City and of course Cagayan de Oro City. Also a big shout out to my tita from Toronto, Canada, Tita Mel Uy, who's here with her with her daughter, Medj. Medj Ong, welcome back, and I hope you enjoy your trip to Palawan. Alright, at this point, mga kapatid, pasok na po natin ang ating susunod na guest. Well, I saw him yesterday in the games, and it was just fun to finally get to see a good friend during the games yesterday. Ang dati pong head coach ng Gilas, Pilipinas, and of course now the current head coach of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, no other than Coach Tab Baldwin. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Noel.
It was good to see you last night.
Yeah, it was great to see you. Great to run into you as always.
How first of all, before you get to the, how impressive was that crowd last night? I mean, the atmosphere that that was in the Philippine arena, Tab.
I don't think it surprised anybody. I mean, we're not running around saying that we have the best fans in the world for no reason. And it's true. And they turned out in big numbers, and it was a lot of fun. Very festive environment, and they were treated to some exciting basketball as well.
Yeah, I think the local organizing committee did a great job, not only in staging the games, but also in controlling the traffic yesterday. It wasn't that bad, really, coming over to the arena. But, of course, everyone's talking about the game, and I want to go straight to that point before I ask you a little bit about the Ateneo Blue Eagles. But, Tab, you saw the game. We were there. It was a winnable game up to the very end. What impressed you with the team, with Gilas, and of course, what did you think happened in the final quarter in that particular game?
Well, I thought a couple of things, big impressions from the game. I thought Gilas did a good job controlling the pace of the game, and they needed to do that in order to give Jordan Clarkson as many efficient minutes as he was able to play. And I use the word efficient loosely because his shooting wasn't great at 9 of 24, and of course he had the 8 turnovers. Nonetheless, he anchors that offense, as we all see, and we all expected that to be the case. But Dominican didn't make him work defensively, and Gilas didn't really push the pace. So Jordan was able to keep the ball in his hands a lot during that game. And of course, we saw the magic that he can weave in creating shots and in scoring the ball, which really right up to the end kept Gilas in the game. And of course, the fouling out was really unfortunate.
Right.
I thought the fourth foul was the real killer because he was hustling for a loose ball under the basket and just picked up a foul. The fifth was just Jordan trying to create offense. He did hook the defender with his elbow. Probably was a reaction call by the referee. Maybe if the referee had been composed about the situation, he might not have called that, putting, the star player on the bench with 3 and some minutes to go. But it was a good call. And I know Jordan regretted it the second you could see his reaction.
Right.
Did it. And then, of course, Gilas' offense had to shift from something they had been doing for 36-plus minutes to something different. And Dominican had a big advantage at that point and was able to just close it out. Gilas lost those last few minutes, but they haven't been in that position. So, that's tough for them.
Some people have been commenting that there was too much dependence on JC. What are your thoughts about that, Tab?
I don't think we ever thought it would be different. Anybody that, follows Gilas and followed the selection of a naturalized player and going for Jordan over going, say, for a big who can, dominate the boards and defend the rim. And we gave up 87 points last night, a lot of that at the rim. We only had 3 offensive rebounds.
Right.
That side of the argument is strong when you look at those numbers. And if you look at Jordan's efficiency, nonetheless, we played a very strong Dominican team and we were in it right up to the end.
Right, yeah.
So say what they want, but the selection of Jordan and the style of play kept us in the game against a very fancied opponent right until the end. And that game could have swung the other way. So I think all the doubters are just trying to exploit a very, very thin
line of argument.
And they're probably picking at straws here.
What about the point about we know that this team does not have a true point guard, a legitimate point guard. Scotty and Kiefer and even Clarkson and Dwight Ramos are taking on that particular role. We had 19 turnovers last night. Of course, you mentioned the offensive rebounding of the Dominican Republic, which led to more than They had 17 more attempts last night, the Dominican Republic. Were we exposed in the point guard position? Do you think that that's going to be a concern moving forward?
I really don't, Noli. I think people need to stop talking about positional basketball. We have ball carriers, and this is probably the term people need to start using. Scotty Thompson's a ball carrier. Kiefer is certainly an excellent ball carrier. He played extremely well in the half last night. Dwight Ramos is a competent ball carrier. Of course, Jordan is a good ball carrier. So we don't have problems there. I think the 19 turnovers, of course, Jordan had 8 of those. But they're really a byproduct of the style of play where we use an attacking style of play. We're attacking the rim all the time and trying to collapse defenses and kick out to shooters. And, we had a little bit of limited success doing that with Roger hitting a couple of threes.
Right.
Scott the 3. But three-point shooting was a whole nother story in both games last night. But that is the modern style of play for a lot of teams. No matter how you create that penetration, whether it's isolation or whether it's ball screens, that's what people are doing. They're collapsing defenses, trying to kick out the shooters. And, that's characterizing the game. Gilas had a guy that could create, get in the paint, and score in Jordan Clarkson. But anytime you have that style of play, you're going to have to live with a few more turnovers. But we don't have per se a point guard problem.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in international basketball is using all-out pressing defenses to cause turnovers. So you have to have guys that can get the ball and initiate your offenses. And when we have guys that can do that.
Karl Anthony Towns, as we had expected, exploded, but he was limited in the second quarter, held scoreless actually in the second quarter, and he did not score in the fourth until about later in that quarter. How impressive was AJ Edu for you, Coach Tab?
Well, AJ worked really hard. I would have liked to have seen him try to anticipate Karl Anthony Towns, like they were just bull rush, attacks that he did. I would have liked to see AJ try to cut him off, take a charge, maybe allow the guards to come in behind and get some steals. But AJ certainly put in a workman effort and deserves praise for the job that he did. But I think there was something very interesting that probably not a lot of fans would have picked up. Of course, when I watch a game, I always watch the coaches.
Right.
So watching 2 games last night was really very interesting. Coach Garcia from Dominican, I tell you what, I think he wanted to quit and go home.
Yes.
Several times in the first half because he was calling plays from the sidelines and the players were having to tell Karl Anthony Towns where to go during the play. And this is, of course, a byproduct of these star players coming in at the last minute. They destroy the chemistry of the team. They create their own chemistry, and it drives the coaches crazy. So we can all talk about Cat winning the game and having a monster game, but it really limits the contribution of the other players. Look at Delgado, who is an outstanding international player. Look at how he was limited. Right. He was so frustrated he got a technical. Like, there was a lot of frustration in the Dominican team last night. And, of course, in the other game, we saw Coach Pacheco of Italy almost quit on his team. They couldn't hit a 3, so he went and sat down the whole second half and let his assistant coaches coach. So there was a lot of stories within the story. It was a lot of fun last night, at least for me, sitting in the stands.
I'm pretty sure because you know many of these people and you're very familiar with the styles of the game. Coach, it was a tough loss, obviously, for Gilas, but not everything is lost. I can imagine. What do you want to see moving forward in our next two games against Angola as well as against Italy?
I think the Dominican game favored us. I didn't think that before the game, but watching the game, Dominican was terribly disorganized in that game. And there was a lot of frustration within their lineup. So you didn't get the best from some of their players, and that really favored us last night. Even though we gave up 87 points, that Dominican team is capable of piling up over 100 points when they're on song. Going forward, Angola, some of the best rim protecting defense that I've seen. We're going to have a really hard time getting to the rim. Clarkson's going to have to do a great job, I think, being a distributor as much as a scorer, because he's going to have a hard time finishing in the paint. All of Gilas is going to need to shoot the ball from the three better, I believe. And of course, we were the best on the night in Philippine Arena. We shot 33%, while the other teams were all mired down in the low 20s or teens. So I don't know if it's Philippine Arena rims or just the shooting was off last night, but we're going to have to ball well against Angola. And then Italy is not going to shoot 16% from the three again. And they're just, a world-class team at creating offensive opportunities. So I think we're going to have to maybe zone Italy a little bit and really work hard in the zone and try to cover shooters. But Chot's got his hands full the next two games, and the expectations are really high after the performance against Dominican, but it's not going to get any easier. It's going to get tougher in these next.
And obviously, we got to win at least one. Try to win both just to give us passage. But again, our fate is no longer in our hands because it'll all depend, I guess, on the combination of victories. Are you hoping to see more of Kai? Maybe also CJ Perez, who did not play yesterday?
Yeah, of course. I mean, these guys are international caliber basketball players. CJ has proven that at 2019 World Cup. Kai is a guy that we still talk about his potential. We still talk about his upside, but he's a very, very good player right now. Very intelligent. He just got caught in a really bad situation last night. Yeah. The two quick fouls, the fact that AJ did play well, as Chot said in the post game. It really, and even Japet, who is, a seasoned international player, only getting 10 minutes in the game, really speaks to how well Japet and Junmar played in the game.
Right.
But yeah, I would like to see Kai get more opportunities, and Angola being as tall as they are, Kai might have the ability to stretch the Angolan defense out a bit. He shoots the three very well. And I think Jordan could enjoy some room in the middle with, a shooting big out there. So hopefully we see a bit more of Kai.
And hopefully Jordan stays in the game and doesn't get all of those fouls. Sometimes I wonder if we're home court getting all those fouls yesterday. But again, that's another story. Let me go to the Ateneo, Coach Tab. It's been a pretty hectic off-season, pre-season for you. How difficult has the rebuild been since losing practically your entire starting five?
Well, it's a tough job. But it's the job. I think I'm on record enough, even with you, Noli, of talking about love challenges, and this is a bit different. This is a big challenge to take all these young players and begin the process of grooming their professional attitude and conduct and quality of play, as well as grooming the chemistry of a new team. And we've played 55 games since February. It's too many, and it's probably not enough, if you know what I mean.
Wow, really?
So we're buckling down to practice. We're trying to take the lessons that we've learned over those games, which is a multitude, and build a chemistry and start to really clarify our roster and what it's going to look like come the beginning of UAAP.
What is the biggest element in your system that has been lost with the departure of Ange and Dave and BJ and Matthew, Daves, as well as Fortsky? What is the biggest thing that you've lost?
Experience, professionalism. And you can't replace that with talent. You know, we have talent, but talent doesn't equal experience.
Right.
Talent doesn't equal leadership. And those two things are pretty critical if you want to compete for a championship. So that's why we played so many games to try and get that experience. We're still evolving in the leadership areas. And until we get really rock solid leadership, and Chris Kuhn and Sean Katavis are working at that, doing a good job. But until that is rock solid, we're going to struggle to develop a winning chemistry and a winning culture. So, you know, we have a big challenge ahead of us, and it's exciting. It's fun. But, you know, everybody always asks for predictions, and I always say I don't make them.
Right.
Well,
I know that now.
There's no security in predictions with this team, not this year.
Well, of course, you've never missed the finals tab since you came over. So, you know, again, your track record begs the question, and I don't want to ask it now. But let me ask you about Fortsky, though, because I've gotten a lot of inquiries. Fortsky Padrigao leaving the Ateneo team, the Ateneo program. The only question I want to ask is, was his case salvageable? I know it's academics, but was it not salvageable that he could have stayed?
From Fortsky's perspective, no, it wasn't. And I think the university did everything that it could. He was going to be allowed academically. He won his appeal. He would be allowed to continue as a student. But I think that the off-court incidents that had occurred when he was in high school, I think they were the death knell for Fortsky. The environment around him at the university was toxic, and he had enough. And I think that's incredibly sad.
Right.
And I think people that have been, are, were, and would be responsible for that really need to do some soul searching, because we are a Catholic and a Christian university. This is a kid that was begging for a second chance after he had admitted his mistakes, his wrongdoings. He had done a lot in the ensuing years to make amends for those. Fortsky Padrigao isn't just a basketball player. People don't realize that. He's a good kid that made a big mistake. And he just couldn't get past the toxic environment that surrounded him. And I have all the sympathy in the world for him. And I'm not a very sympathetic guy, Noli.
Yeah.
But I have all the sympathy in the world for him. And I've told him he has my undying support going forward. Whatever I can do to help him in life and in basketball, you know, he will have that from me, from his ex-teammates, and from his ex-coaches.
Well, we certainly hope that he gets his second chance wherever he goes, and you know, everyone deserves that, definitely. And we can only hope the best for Fortsky. Tab, now that, you know, all of these players, these veterans are gone, who are you most bullish with insofar as your lineup is concerned? You've got a lot of new names there. Including, of course, you know, guys like an Ian Espinosa, a Kyle Gamber, a Rafi Celes, and all of these commits that have gone to the Ateneo program, and of course Mason Amos. Who are you most bullish right now for the Ateneo Blue Eagles coming into the season?
Well, I would use a different reference to Bull right now in terms of how we're playing, you know, and I can't. So I'm not that bullish on anybody right now, or really, you know, how good a basketball team we are. We just have a long way to go, and I don't like to get into individuals, especially when I think all of them have a lot of progress to make. But that's the joy of the job.
Right,
you know, I can be pessimistic and still enjoy every day. I think that's my nature as a coach. I'm a cynic. I'm a pessimist. I'm a critic. And my players have to live with that every day. God love them, and I sometimes, but you know, that's who we are, and we're trying hard to build something again that we can say is special and make our fans proud.
Well, you know, you're only a month away from the UAAP opening, and obviously there's still a lot of work to be done. Import situation, for instance, what is the likelihood of, and who will be the import of the Blue Eagles come season 86?
Noli, barring injury, it'll be Joseph Obasa.
All right.
And Joseph is, he's an older guy. We'll only have him for 1 year. He's 25 years old now. He's one of the nicest young men. He's one of the most outstanding young men. He's an academic stalwart, but he has, very little experience in the game of basketball. He didn't start playing until he was 18, and much of that was, very limited in terms of the quality of play that he was getting. But we have a great young man, and he works hard. I think he's going to have a very good season for us. And he's an important part. Imports play a lot.
Right, yeah.
I think he's going to have to step up in the backup role as well and really give us some veteran minutes and some veteran performances.
Well, everybody goes through that period where they just, try to get better. And I think Joseph definitely, hopefully can get to that point quickly. Tab, I'm sure you've been keeping close watch on your opponents come the next season. UP has been all around the world. So is LaSalle, and so are the other teams. What has been, I guess, most concerning for you in this build-up so far?
UP unquestionably has the strongest guard lineup. Probably, I mean, I'm not a historian on the UAAP, but if there was a better guard lineup, not just relative to the competition, but really high-quality players, then I would not want to go up against them. And I'm not looking forward to going up against UP's guard lineup. Of course, they're young up front, in the power forward position, but they have a lot of talent there. So they're not a perfect model just yet. And I know Baldwin will be working really hard. Topek's over at LaSalle. He's new, but, what a roster they have, outstanding, tough roster. Mike Phillips is going to be the player of the year, I think, in the UAAP.
Yeah,
He's just big time. There's nothing else to say about him. But I think the sleeper team, and the one that everybody should be watching for, is that NU team. It looks like all those guys have been there 12 years, and they're the toughest bunch of guys. They've got great talent in Kian Baklan. And when you've got Figueroa, Malonzo, and what they're doing with those veteran guys, and Jeff Napa, calling the shots, they're going to be a team to watch. So there may be other sleepers, but, I think those three teams right now have their noses in front, and everybody's got to be, paying a lot of respect and a lot of attention to those three.
It should be a very exciting UAAP season. Before I let you go, Tab, I guess I have a couple of questions left. First of all, are the Ateneo Blue Eagles UAAP ready?
Not yet. We'll get there.
All right. Good answer. And, everyone, of course, is expecting that one big fight come September 25. And, again, let's just go back to Gilas for a short bit here. Tell us, how do you like our chances moving forward? Many fans are, of course, now a little bit down because of that loss, although, we were there. We were almost there. Do we still have a realistic chance of moving forward?
Look, what I liked about the performance last night was it looked to me like Gilas came out believing they could win the game. When you do that, you have a chance. Now, your margin of error is small because you're going up against more highly talented, more experienced teams and players. But winning all starts with the attitude. And if the attitude is we just take this game one possession at a time, Gilas came out, scored, Dwight Ramos scored on the first possession. Why can't you do that again? Why can't you do that again? You get stops. Why can't you do that again? And I don't care how good your opponent is. As long as you believe that, the possibility exists that it can happen. Mm-hmm. And they looked like they had that last night. So, they just need to keep doing that. I'm not a pundit. I'm not paid to stick my neck in the noose and say Gilas is going to lose or they're going to win. I'll just tell you the margin of error for them is very small. The opponents are very strong, but the reason they keep scoring these games is because both teams have a chance, and they've got to believe in that chance and fight for every ounce of opportunity that they get.
Of course, what we're trying to go for is obviously that Olympic slot, and that's still within reach. But again, we've got to play our best in these next two games. Talking about that, Tab, what has impressed you so far in the opening day? What games, looking at just the stats, maybe the box scores and all the results, who has impressed you the most so far in the FIBA World Cup?
Well, I was on record, and I am on record as saying I think Australia is the team to beat. U.S., of course, if they are playing well together, they're going to probably be the team to beat. So Australia had a great win over Finland last night. They won by 20.
Oh, yeah.
Finland is a tough team, and that was a tough game for a half, and then Australia slowly increased the margin. They had it up in the mid-20s at one point. So Australia is really tough. The game that shocked me, and I know that it shocked the entire basketball world, people that are in the know, was Canada beating France 30. I couldn't sleep last night, worrying about my friend Vince Calais at he's the longest serving coach in international basketball. He's been with the French national team since 2002. Tremendous guy. He's had an unbelievable record. I know they had really high hopes coming into it this year. And Canada is always suspect. They always have a lot of talent, but they seem to trip up in the big games.
Right.
Well, what a start they had last night.
Well,
so a point win, that's massive, and that puts them right in the conversation for a gold medal.
Everybody thought that they would be the dark horse because of the sheer number of NBA players playing for Canada, including maybe the best NBA player playing, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I guess they're proving people correct right now. Let me ask you about this before I let you go. The FIBA World Cup is being played because of the change in the calendar now, just a year before the Olympics, and we're seeing a lot of the big name stars missing or skipping, particularly those that are coming from the NBA. Do you think that this will continue? Do you think that FIBA will see this as a problem, or do you think that eventually the stars will realize just how important the World Cup is alongside the Olympics?
It's a great question. I wish I had an answer for you. My gut instinct is to say shame on you to the players that opt out of this. This is where you prove to your country your worth, not prove your ability, not prove that you're a superstar. This isn't where you go to make a lot of money. This is where you prove to your fellow countrymen that you can stand beside them and represent them. And when players opt out, it really leaves a very, very sour taste in my mouth. I think it's the greatest thing in sports is to be able to represent your country, and everybody wants to show up at the Olympics because it's the big game. But this is the biggest basketball tournament in the world. And yeah, I do think FIBA should see it as a problem. I don't know what the solution is, but I guarantee you if FIFA was having this problem, they would be, moving heaven and earth to make sure that the best soccer players in the world were at their glamour event. And sometimes it seems to me as FIBA, they try to keep great players off the court, with their very strict naturalization rules. So I don't know what will happen. Everybody wants to see the best players in the world on the court. Everybody wants to see the best coaches. And
Absolutely.
Just going back to Canada for a second, they are loaded with NBA players, but it should be of note that they have a Spanish coach now, which is so. This is the glamour event for FIBA, and it should have all the best coaches and all the best players, and the best of basketball should be represented on these courts. And I think the fans are cheated when that's not the case.
Well, talking about the best coaches, Tab, 4 World Championships, 1 Olympics under your name. Do you miss coaching at this level?
A lot.
Will you ever go coaching again at this level?
God willing.
Thank you. Coach Tab, thank you so much. You still owe me a golf game.
I do.
We should be seeing. I should be seeing you next week in the golf course. Hey, great talking to you. Good luck to the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Thank you, Noli. God bless you. Take care, and God bless all your fans listening.
Thank you. Mga kaibigan, ang dating head coach ng Gilas, Pilipinas, and of course the current head coach of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, Coach Tab Baldwin. Thank you, Tab, for joining us today. Wow, just a lot there, and of course we know that a lot can happen in the next few days for Gilas, Pilipinas, and we're certainly hoping that all the best will happen for them. Coach Tab, thank you again for joining us today. Well, mga kapatid, bago tayo magpatuloy, at syempre, pasalamat po tayo sa ating mga sponsors na patuloy po nagtataguyod ng Power and Play. Over 6 years na tayo, mga kapatid, at tuloy-tuloy lang po ang ating pagdulot ng impormasyon at balita dito po sa Power and Play. Una natin pasalamatan, of course, ang Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum sa ganitong pabago-bagong panahon, mga kapatid. Sobrang init, tapos ang lakas ng ulan. Kailangan po natin na matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum kapag may aluminum tsak na pang matagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum.
Thank you!
Cherry Tiggo 5X Pro Hybrid. Elevate your driving experience with the all-new Cherry Tiggo 5X Pro Hybrid, where sustainability meets functionality. Get ready to embark on a journey of fuel efficiency and power like never before. Imagine cruising down the road with the impressive 1.5 turbocharged engine paired with a cutting-edge 48-volt hybrid system. The dynamic duo not only delivers exhilarating performance but also slashes fuel consumption effectively, making each mile a step towards a greener planet. The all-new Cherry Tiggo 5X Pro Hybrid is also equipped with a 10.25-inch capacitive touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto full LED headlights and double-row daytime running lights for improved road visibility, auto trunk release, 6 supplemental restraint system airbags, and a quiet cabin for more peaceful Cherry drives. To learn more about the all-new Cherry Tiggo 5X Pro Hybrid, visit Cherry Auto Philippines website at www.cherryauto.ph or visit your nearest Cherry dealership.
Thank you!
Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Subukan ang kanilang pinakabagong oven-roasted chicken na mas pinasarap dahil sa nag-uumapaw na flavorful chicken juice. Subukan ang harissa roast, sweet roast, at pepper roast. Try also Chooks, the first dine-in restaurant ng Chooks to Go. Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan.
Thank you!
True religion is in the Philippines, where passion meets power. Experience it firsthand. For your best style choices, visit True Religion at Conrad S. Maison, Mall of Asia Complex, Resorts World Manila, and Hacienda Designer Outlet, Silang, Cavite. Visit their newest branch at Grand Wing, Newport City, Resorts World Manila. True Religion, where passion meets power.
Thank you!
Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Mga kasundo, first booking nyo, use promo code JRMC Taxi, 50% off on your first MC Taxi ride. Book Joyride MC Taxi for safe, affordable, quality, and fast rides. Ano pa hinihintay nyo? Download the JR Super App on Google Play Store and the App Store. Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo.
Thank you!
Skin your face in Elms Seafood Paluto. The latest offering of the Elms Resto Bar Group, located at Unit 2, Ground Floor, Calle Bistro, Ever Commonwealth, Quezon City. Enjoy their delectable seafood menu in a relaxed, casual dining atmosphere for your salo-salo seafood meal. Elms Seafood Paluto.
Thank you!
Skin your face and body anti-aging center with branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hill, San Juan. For your skin assessment and treatment schedule, call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886.
Thank you!
ASEA Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and drive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. ASEA Subic Beach Resort.
Thank you!
M2 Tea Drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your lugay, your gulay, and fuel up on energy with M2 Tea Drink with malunggay, okra and luya, your natural source of electrolytes. Made by Nature Earth. And of course, we are powered by Smart. Live Smart. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga sa lahat po ng ating mga sponsors na patuloy pong nakatutok sa atin. Maraming salamat po. Alright, at this point, mga kapatid, bago tayo magpatuloy, actually meron pa po tayong isa pang guest, yung pong bagong coach ng Filipinas. Pero sabi niya, siya po ay malilate ng pagpasok. Kaya iniintayan po natin at inaantabayanan po natin ang bagong head coach ng Filipinas, si Coach Mark Torcaso. He is the new coach from Australia, 42 years old, and certainly would like to meet and know a little more about him. But hopefully, makarating po siya at umabot po sa ating show. At siguro, sayang kasi gusto natin makausap siya ng matagalan. Baka bigyan natin ng mas marami pang panahon si Coach Mark sa mga susunod na araw. But if he comes in, maybe even just to say hello to Coach Mark Torcaso, ang bagong head coach ng Filipinas. Alright, pero bago po yan, syempre, silipin muna natin ang mundo po ng palakasan this week in sports history.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
August 24, 2008 o 15 years ago, nabawi ng Team USA ang ginto sa Olympics basketball. Tinalo ng tinaguriang Redeem Team ang gold kinakuha ng Redeem Team ang gold matapos talunin ang Spain sa finals 118-107. 4 na taon ang nakaraan bago yan ay bronze medal lang ang inuwi ng Amerika sa Olympics basketball. Pinangunahan ni Kobe Bryant at LeBron James ang star-studded squad na kinukumpara sa Dream Team noong 1990s. Ngayong taon, redemption din ang target ng Amerika sa FIBA World Cup naman. Redeem Team reclaims gold this week in sports history. Naku, natatandaan po natin yan, of course, ang pagbabalik ng American basketball. But again, and the NBA has been instrumental in the globalization of basketball. At kaya naman po kahit papano, talagang humabol ang buong mundo sa American basketball. And which makes the sport even more exciting. Dahil ngayon nakikita na natin yung iba't ibang mga superstars na naglalaro po sa iba't ibang mga bansa na lalo pang lumalago ang larong basketball. Ang sana na lamang po sa FIBA, ito ang ating panawagan, sana naman ayusin nila ang eligibility rules. Sapagkat marami nga po tayo nababalitaan, nabanggit na nga ni Kinito Henson, na may mga ibang bansa na pinapayagan ang mga players in a very loose manner, yung eligibility, yung interpretation po ng eligibility, na pinapayagan ng kahit na hindi po napanganak sa bansa, hindi katulad natin na talagang sinusuri mabuti ang mga papeles. Si Jordan Clarkson po, talaga naman may tunay na may dugo pong Pilipino, siya po ay naturalized player. Imagine kung si Jordan Clarkson ay makukonsider na isang local. At yung Jalen Green, yun po isa pang Pilipino na nasa NBA. Can you imagine kung yan po ay mga local players at lalagyan pa tayo ng naturalized player? Sana kahit pa paano maging consistent naman ang FIBA sa pagpasa po ng mga eligibility rules at pag-enforce at implement nitong kanilang mga patakaran. Alright, siguro we will try to get Coach Mark Torcaso next week to give him enough time para rin po natin makilala ng mabuti ang bagong head coach ng Filipinas. Yan po si Coach Mark Torcaso. In the meantime, basahin po natin muna ang mga ilang nagpadala, ang ilang mga nagpadala ng kanilang opinion sa ating pong pinupulsuhan ngayong araw na ito. Ang ating pong tanong, ano po ang inyong biggest take sa ating pagkatalo sa Dominican Republic kahapon? Ito po ang sabi ni Zaldi Sahonia. Sabi niya, the way Gilas played last night was really excellent. They were also able at least malimit ang scoring of Cat under 30 points. The reason they fell short because of many turnovers and of course JC fouled out and of course Kai contributions should be felt. Mula naman kay FAP Naku, ang hirap ng pangalan nito. Zepol. All through the game, maganda naman naging depensa, especially kay Kat. Bawasan ang turnovers sa darating na game kontra Angola. Mula kay Art Villaseñor, sabi niya, Gilas falls short. Questionable fouls called by the same referee in the crucial stretch decided the game. Naku may konti pang intriga ito No, it's the lifeless offense by the Gilas team after JC fouled out that cost us the game. The key takeaway would be best use of resources. We need to realize that Gilas is not just JC. We also have 11 other talented players. Mura kay Lloyda Di Maapi, sabi niya, bakit di sinama sa lineup si Brownlee? Si Brown. Hindi pa makakit over si Ma'am Lloyda. Jazz Medina, palitan yung coach. Naku naman, wag naman po ngayon kailangan po natin suportahan ang ating team. Mula kay Cheryl Patok, Patok, Dominican Republic is a tough contender at kahit natalo ang Gilas, lumaban din naman sila. Iba pa rin talaga pag matagal nang naglalaro as a team compared sa Gilas na nabubuo lang pagpalapit na ang laban. Kudos pa rin sa Gilas Pilipinas as a Filipino fan. Ang sarap panoorin yung sinakay, Fajardo, Clarkson, Ramos, Edu Brownlee, etc. sa iisang team. Well, marami pa pong mga kuro-kuro dito pero meron po tayong napili na tatlo pong mananalo ng M2 tea drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya sa ating pong Pulso ng Bayan. Ito po ang mga nanalo ngayon pong linggong ito. Napili natin sa kanilang komentaryo. Una si Philip Almeda. Ang sabi po niya, rotation of players not maximized. CJ, DNP or did not play. Kai, after 2 fouls, did not play anymore. JC and Ramos cannot carry all the load. Yan po ang sinabi ni Philip Almeda. Congratulations. Ang susunod natin mananalo ng M2T drink si Ped Esperida. Biggest takeaway ko ay sana ma-maximize ni JC ang fouls niya at nabigyan sana dagdag playing time as point guard si Kiefer. Ang ganda po na nilaro ni Kiefer nung second quarter. Tsaka mag-step up ang iba kasi nung na-foul out si JC, wala nang nagtimon sa team. Ped Esperida, congratulations. At yung third winner po natin ng M2T Drinks ay si Ariel Salvador Hinal Magno. Turnovers killed Gilas. Offense is too reliant on JC. Need to spread offense. Edu and Junmar can play. Talaga namang napakaganda ng pinakita ni AJ, Edu at ni Junmar Fajardo. Bawi-bawi tayo next game. Congratulations kay Ariel Magno sa kanyang komentaryo. Kayo po ay mananalo ng M2T Drinks at ating pong kami po ay magme-message sa inyo sa Facebook para malaman nyo kung paano mapipick up ang M2T Drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya courtesy of Nature Earth. Doon naman po sa ating top up promo mga kapatid ang mga nanalo po ngayon ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits ay sila Janisa Manganti, Paulo Barosa, Angelica Montenegro, Felina Obrero at si Jonathan Ramirez, all winners of 1,000 pesos JRPay wallet credits. And finally, yung pong nanalo ng Aqua Flask last week. Walang nanalo. Mukhang, hindi ito. Akala ko, ito po ang nanalo last week ng Aqua Flask, limited Aqua Flask mula sa Joyride. Si Bernard T. Soriano, yung kanyang picture at kasama yung hashtag last week. Congratulations kay Bernard Soriano. Again, we will PM you para makuha mo ang iyong Joyride limited Aqua Flask. And that'll do it for us this week mga kapatid. Nako, tutukan po natin ang World Cup. Marami pang mga laro and of course, suportahan pa rin natin ang ating Gilas Pilipinas. Lagi po natin sinasabi dito sa Power and Play tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit at sa lahat po ng ating gawain, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH, teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inay ko po. Happy Sports Weekend mga kapatid! More power, more play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko. Para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na kung magpatalo. Ipag-iwang natin ng Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, Chumbe, Sibay, Lakay, Amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko.